Hello, happy Monday, and today we are talking about how to get it all done, even when you have insert huge, crazy life problem here. A couple weeks ago, I asked folks on my email list what they were struggling with and how I could help. And this is a question that came up in several different ways. It was unique to each person's situation. I have a chronic illness, or I work a full-time job, or I run a second business, or it doesn't really matter the specifics, but everybody had their own unique challenges that were stopping them from being able to get everything done. And I thought I can absolutely help with this, and that is what we are going to do today. So as always, I've got my notes here to make sure that I stay on track. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to start by talking about the big myth about creating business success. And that's along the lines of you need to spend 100 hours a week building your business if you want it to be successful. And maybe it's not 100, maybe you think 40, maybe you think you need to be able to do it full time. Whatever it is, you have some set point in your head that I need to be able to dedicate this many hours to be able to have a successful business. So whatever that number is, that's cool, but here I am to tell you whatever that number is not true. Whatever you think it is, it's wrong. And that is because when you have sort of the right frame of reference for how to approach your business and your work, you can create the success that you want with however much time you have. From a few hours a week to full-time hours, whatever that happens to be, you can get there. So I want you to stop believing that you need a certain amount of hours to be able to hit the success that you want. I want you to know that you can create the success you want with the time that you do have. Okay, now I know you're thinking, this is impossible. I have an illness, I have kids, I work a full-time job, I've got a sick family member, I've got a life, I can't do it. But just suspend your disbelief for just a little bit and we will see what we can create together. Because I know there's a lot to do to build your business or to take it to the next level, whatever challenge you happen to be facing, and you can do it with the amount of time that you have. Okay, so you only need to do 3 things to get it all done, all right? Here we go. This is the meat of this. So grab a pen, grab some paper. Number 1 is you need a clear, proven plan to hit your target, okay? And let's talk about what that means for a little bit here, because a lot of times people will say, I want to start a business and whatever, replace my full-time job income or create this really lucrative side hustle, or they have a goal in mind about what they want to create, whatever that happens to be. And what happens when they set that goal is they don't actually know how to get there. So they think in terms of, I've got to build a website, I've got to start an email list, I've got to be on social media. But those are all fairly generic, okay? They're not really measurable. Well, what kind of website is good enough? What kind of email list is good enough? How many subscribers is enough? How much time on social media? What kind of time on social media? There's lacking this huge scope of specificity. So when we talk in generic terms, so I want to lose weight, so I should eat healthier and exercise more. Okay, well, what actually means eat healthier, and what does exercise more actually mean, and what's the magic combination of the two that will help me lose weight? Building your business is the same way. Whether you're just trying to get it off the ground, or you're trying to take it to the next level, or you want to skyrocket things, you need to have a clear, executable plan with specifics so you know exactly how to hit your goal. So if this makes sense, if you understand what I'm saying here when it comes to that you need a clear, proven plan to hit your target, and you need to be super specific, give me a thumbs up or put a little heart. I've always wanted to do that. Or put a little heart on the video, or leave a comment that says, I get it, I understand, I need a specific plan. Or if you don't understand, leave a comment below, because I want to know what you don't understand so that I can clarify. Okay, so to be clear, the first step to, the first step to being able to being able to hit your business goals with however much time you have, whether that's a few hours a week or 100 hours a week, you have to have a clear, specific plan to get there. Otherwise, you're just taking random actions and you don't actually know that what you're doing is going to help. You're just sort of making these broad strokes that aren't going to get you there. Okay? That's the first thing. So if you're looking to hit your goals and you have a limited amount of time, you've got to have a clear, specific plan. The second thing that you need is you need to map out the time you can commit, and you need to follow through. So even if you have 2 hours a week, I want you to make sure that you figure out when you can deliver on those 2 hours a week. If you have 10 hours a week, when are you committing to those 10 hours a week? Now, a lot of my clients will tell you that I tend to focus on telling them, putting in their calendar exactly when they're going to work on their business. And one of the things that, and I'm a big fan of that, I am going to work on my business when I get home from work on Mondays from 5 until 7. On Mondays and Thursdays. And those are the 4 hours I have to commit to my business, whatever it happens to be. Now, I've also gotten a lot of pushback from my clients because they say my life is crazy, it's unpredictable, I can't know what that is. So I'm working on a new system, just testing it out with my clients, but we call it flex scheduling. And the basic idea is this: how many hours do you have to commit to X activity? And we get into a lot of granularity in my program, but regardless, so how many hours a week do you have to work on your business? And that's it. So you're going to then post it at your computer. My computer's right here. Post it at your computer, whatever, that says, I've got to spend 4 hours a week on my business executing my clear plan. And your job is to simply, between now and the end of the week, find those 4 hours, whether that's on Mondays or Thursdays or all in one chunk or in, 8 30-minute increments, whatever it happens to be. Determine the number of hours you're going to commit to, and then during those hours, execute your plan, your specific, clear plan where you know exactly the steps you're taking, no excuses, no confusion, no broad strokes, exact specific actions. Okay, so step number 1, clear plan. Step number 2, figure out how many hours you can commit to following through on that plan and follow through on that plan. Number 3 is do the work and do it right. So when you sit down for those 30 minutes, for those 2 hours to do the work, sit down and do the work. That means don't go off on Facebook. That means don't spin your wheels. You have a plan. Sit down and execute your plan. Focus, 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 focus. So I have 2 hours. I need to write my blog post and get my newsletter out. Sit down and do it because that's on the plan. Sit down and do it. Whatever it happens to be, you need to then manage yourself you just need to manage yourself and your time. Focus, do the work on the plan that you need to do. Don't let yourself get distracted. Now, a lot of this stuff is going to be uncomfortable because it's new and challenging. Whatever you're trying to do to grow your business, whether that's from 0 to something or all the way to the next level, it's going to be new. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be challenging. It's going to and you're going to want to get up your chair and you're going to want to go do laundry because laundry sounds more interesting than this task at hand. But instead, you've got to put yourself in your chair, sit yourself down, and you've got to do the work. Sit down, focus, and execute on that plan because you know that when you follow through on that plan, you will get the results that you want to get. All right. Now, part of that is also managing your mindset. So you have the plan, you have, you have the plan, you've mapped out the time, you know when you want to work on it, you've got to sit down and do the right work and focus and make sure that this does not run the show. I'm not good at this. It's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. A little bit more about mindset and money is tomorrow. But you just got to make sure that that whiny voice in your head does not run the show. That you sit down, you focus, and you get the work done. Now, so a couple people posted when they submitted questions, it was, I have so much else to do in my life. I care for kids or a sick family member. I've got a chronic illness. I have a full-time job. Here's the deal. This 3 clear steps, proven plan, commit to the time, sit down and do work. Those three steps are going to work no matter what your own personal life circumstances. So if you have a chronic illness and you're really sick, I understand what it's like to be there. If you're trying to build your business while you're working a full-time job, that's okay too. Make sure you have a plan and make sure you set aside the specific exact times to work on it, and then you follow through and do that exact thing. So again, whether you have a couple hours a week or tons of time, when you have these 3 things, you are going to make it happen. Okay, now I want to address a sort of related question, but before I do that, just a couple resources above. Let me just make sure I tell you the ones because I can't see what I posted at the same time. So first one is 7 steps to making it work online, and that is for those of you looking for the first step of a plan to get your business up and profitable, and you're just starting out. 7 steps to make it work online. Grab that one above. The other one, another one I have up there is the System Flight Kit. This was the second opt-in offer I created. I think it was like in 2011, maybe in beginning of 2012, but it's been around for a long time. And so those of you who are looking to get where you have more time because you want to streamline your business, so that can sometimes be one of the things that will buy you more time. If that's part of your plan, grab the System Flight Kit. The couple other ideas that are a little different, another one above is the Secrets to Working Less Without Making Less. This is a free class I taught back in 2013 actually, and I listened to it the other day. It's still very relevant. So 7 ways that you can work less without making less, and I'll tell you the 3 things that we just talked about that are on my notes here. Those are in that plan. Those are in that class. And the last one is Creating Success Without Sacrifice. That's a 6-week class I did a year ago, and that is available as well. Again, these are all different versions of the same things I just taught you. So you've got to have a plan, you've got to figure out when you're going to do it, and then you've got to sit down and you've got to do the work. So if you have any questions about any of this, post them below, and I'm going to address the one other question that came through, but this would be a good time to do just because we have the whole Facebook delay thing. Okay, so the related question that somebody posted was, I want to create passive income in my business, but right now I'm too busy serving clients. So she's full serving clients, but she wants to create passive income, but there's no wiggle room. And so this plan, I want to talk about how this plan still applies, because it's basically the same thing as if you are working a full-time job and trying to create your business. So she has a full-time job with her clients and she wants to create this side hustle with passive income. If you just sort of separate it, it's the same sort of problem. The question then becomes, all right, where do you want to, first of all, do you have a plan? So get a plan. How are you going to create passive income? What are you going to create? What does that look like? What do you need to do? What are the steps, etc. Number 2, find the time to do it, whether that's 2 hours a week or more, or whether you're going to drop a client to buy yourself extra time to do it, whether you're going to add on a few extra hours on a Thursday to get moving. You've got to find the time. And then the third thing is, when it comes time to do that, sit down and actually make that happen. So whatever it is you're wanting to do in your business, you want to systematize it, you want to grow it, whether you're trying to make it work while you're working a full-time job, doesn't matter. These 3 steps are your go-to steps. Clear, proven plan to hit your target with specifics. Remember, no broad generalizations. Map out the time and then sit down and do the work. All right, if this was helpful and just sort of maybe gave you a good kick in the pants for a Monday, if you could just leave me a thumbs up. It always just helps me to know that you're there. And post questions if you have questions that come up later today or whenever it is that you happen to watch this video, if you're watching the replay. Post them here. I am the one to answer them. It is my pleasure to answer them. And I will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, for a little bit on money and mindset. That's actually going to be a fairly quick one. So this would be a great time for you to show up on time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and come with questions, because I am more than happy. It's my great pleasure to answer your questions as we go. And if there's anybody you think could benefit from this simple 3-step plan to get it all done, even when you don't think you have time, tag them below this video. I would be so grateful if you did that. And they will be so grateful, because every once in a while we need a good friend or colleague to tell us, like, man, this is it, this is what you need. So be sure to tag them below. All right, thank you very much. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye.